Look, I have had the Seahawks' future on my mind all week, specifically the urgent need to secure a contract extension for Devon Witherspoon before the season kicks off. While Leonard Williams remains a major defensive contributor, the front office must prioritize Witherspoon to solidify our core defensive pillars for the rest of the decade. Locking in our elite cornerback now prevents unnecessary drama and signals our dominance to the NFC West. And honestly, the more details come out, the harder it is to ignore what is going on behind the scenes. Smash that like button, subscribe, and comment your name and city. We are a brand new channel pushing toward our first 1,000 subscribers, and every single person who joins this community helps us keep going. Let us get into it! As Seattle Seahawks fans, we have reached a pivotal moment this summer where our front office must determine the long-term future of cornerback Devon Witherspoon and defensive end Leonard Williams. While both are integral to Mike Macdonald's defensive scheme, the front office faces a clear decision regarding contract priorities. Witherspoon arrived as a first-round selection in the 2023 NFL Draft and has quickly established himself as a foundational piece of our secondary. Given that the team already extended wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba earlier this offseason, it is logical to assume the front office views these two 2023 first-round picks as the pillars of our future success. While Leonard Williams is undeniably one of the most talented defensive linemen in the league, he is 32 years old, leading the team to prioritize the younger Witherspoon. Even with the emergence of 2024 first-round pick Byron Murphy II, the cornerback remains the primary focus. According to Seahawks on SI, the team should aim to secure Witherspoon before the season to avoid future complications, especially considering the current market where top cornerbacks are commanding upwards of $31 million annually. And the more I look at this, the urgency for a deal becomes crystal clear. Locking him up now would signal to the entire league that we intend to maintain elite playmakers on both sides of the ball for years to come. This strategy is not a slight against Williams, who remains a massive part of our defensive front, but rather a cold, calculated move to manage the salary cap as we prepare for the 2026 campaign and beyond. Still, we must ask ourselves, if the organization commits this much capital to a single cornerback, how does that shift the internal budget for our other star defenders in the coming years? The most surprising element of this contract situation is that the Seahawks are actively shifting their financial philosophy to prioritize building a younger core through long-term extensions rather than chasing veterans. This transition is not a sudden pivot, but rather a calculated response to the league-wide inflation of player contracts that we have witnessed over the last few seasons. What nobody is talking about is how the massive 4-year, $124 million deal handed to the cornerback from the Los Angeles Rams has essentially set a new, daunting floor for elite defensive backs, forcing the Seattle front office to act quickly. If they do not lock up Devon Witherspoon now, his market value could easily skyrocket to astronomical levels following another productive season under head coach Mike Macdonald. We have seen this team struggle with salary cap flexibility in the past, often being forced to part ways with productive contributors because they waited too long to initiate negotiations. Behind closed doors, Jody Allen and the leadership team are likely weighing the long-term sustainability of the roster against the immediate need for a veteran pass rush presence. They recognize that while Leonard Williams remains a significant talent, his age makes him a luxury that does not align with the multi-year vision they have for building around 2023 and 2024 first-round picks. By securing these younger pillars early, the organization is sending a clear professional message to the rest of the league that they intend to dominate the NFC West for the remainder of this decade. It is a strategic move designed to avoid the locker room distractions that often plague teams when key players are staring down the uncertainty of free agency, ensuring that our brightest stars remain in the Pacific Northwest for the long haul. The front office sits at a vital crossroads this summer, and the choices made today regarding our defensive core will define our competitive window for the next half-decade. Securing Devon Witherspoon now is not just about keeping a talented player in town, but about establishing the structural integrity of our secondary before the market potentially explodes again. And I cannot stress this enough, pinning down Witherspoon on a long-term deal serves as a foundational move that dictates our financial flexibility and roster stability for the entire 2026 campaign. By finalizing an extension, the Seahawks provide Mike Macdonald with the defensive certainty required to manage his personnel rotations effectively, especially as we balance the development of Byron Murphy II alongside veteran contributors. While the prospect of re-signing Leonard Williams carries its own weight, prioritizing the 2023 first-round pick ensures we lock in our primary playmaker while avoiding the inflationary pressure of future cornerback contracts like the one recently seen with the Los Angeles Rams. This financial discipline directly impacts our depth chart, allowing us to keep critical assets in the building while leaving enough cap space to address other roster needs as the schedule intensifies. As we prepare for high-stakes matchups against division rivals and NFC contenders, having a solidified leader in the defensive backfield provides us a significant advantage that stabilizes our scheme. This strategic shift signals to the rest of the league that our organization is committed to maintaining a high-caliber roster that remains relevant throughout the entire decade. By proactively handling these contract negotiations before the season kicks off, we effectively insulate the locker room from unnecessary noise, keeping our focus squarely on the goal of winning championships and dominating the NFC West through smart, forward-thinking management of our most essential, high-impact defensive stars. The most compelling reason to prioritize a contract extension for Devon Witherspoon over Leonard Williams is simple arithmetic regarding the long-term health of our secondary. By securing our cornerstone cornerback now, the organization ensures a foundation for the next 6 years, much like the commitment recently shown to Jackson Smith-Njigba. Locking in a premier talent before his market value explodes following another standout season is a masterstroke of financial planning. However, the counter-argument is equally sobering. Leonard Williams remains a dominant force on the defensive line, and neglecting his status could lead to instability in the trenches as Byron Murphy II continues his development. Some NFL analysts suggest that waiting creates unnecessary uncertainty, while others worry that the skyrocketing market for corners, illustrated by the massive 4-year, $124 million deal recently given to the Rams cornerback, will make Witherspoon prohibitively expensive if we delay. Here is what people are missing in this debate. The Seahawks are currently balancing the prime of a veteran leader in Williams against the youthful trajectory of Witherspoon. To be perfectly honest, I think the narrative that Williams is merely a stopgap is a bit dismissive of his current production level. Yet the front office clearly values the youth movement as a primary indicator for success. If we fail to act, we risk the exact kind of locker room tension that distracts from a championship run. Here's where I land on this. While the defensive line needs depth, our secondary is the heartbeat of this scheme. If we can emulate the structure of the deal signed by Smith-Njigba, we solidify our defensive identity for the rest of the decade. We must be decisive now rather than letting the market dictate our future salary cap flexibility, keeping our elite playmakers in Seattle where they belong for years to come. Looking at the path ahead, the Seattle Seahawks are clearly prioritizing long-term stability by securing the pillars of our future defense and offense. By looking to extend Devon Witherspoon, the front office is signaling a commitment to keeping our most impactful young talents in Seattle for the rest of the decade. And here is why that is a big deal. It allows our leadership under Mike Macdonald to build a consistent identity that mirrors the success of our recent contract extension with Jackson Smith-Njigba. While Leonard Williams remains an important veteran piece, the age gap and the emergence of Byron Murphy II suggest our resources must be focused on maintaining the youth movement. As fans, you should feel optimistic because this proactive approach eliminates potential contract drama before the season even begins. It shows that our organization is not just playing for this year, but is actively working to ensure we have elite playmakers on both sides of the ball for years to come. This strategy builds a foundation of excellence that makes us a constant threat in the division. The potential price tag, keeping in mind how the Los Angeles Rams recently paid their cornerback a 4-year, $124 million extension, reminds us exactly how high the stakes are for premium defensive positions in today's game. With these financial moves, we are sending a clear message to every contender in our path. Between locking up our 2023 first-round cornerback or managing the veteran defensive end deal, which of these two priorities would you choose to finalize before the first kickoff? If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. We are still pushing toward our first 1,000 subscribers, and every one of you helps us get there. Go Hawks! I'll see you in the next one.